So I just made a comment that you can't hear me. I have been blabbing for what? Several minutes now, and you guys can't hear me. Oh, Ralph, I had the mute button hit. Yeah. So hence why the number went up and then came down of followers. I'm like, what am I doing? You guys couldn't hear me. Let's start over, shall we? That was just a test run. Oh, Ralph. Anywho, here we go. Let's try this again, shall we? Name's Ralph. Dad's starting over. I've been doing content under the Dad Starting Over name for years, written a lot of books. Dead Bedroom Fix is the most popular thing I've written. Help for Men is the name of our larger organization. You can learn more at helpformen.com. You can learn about our private men's organization we call the Brotherhood at helpformen.com/join. Check it out, helpformen.com/join. Private support community for men only. United States is our biggest market, followed by Australia. We have gatherings every year where we do meet in person, and we're having our 6th annual conference in the United States. We call that BroFest, and you can learn more at brofest2026.com. Our guys in Australia are going to have their 4th annual conference coming up here soon. They call it Mate Fest. We don't have a website for that one. It's more of a small private gathering of around 20, 30 guys and of our Australian members, and they get together and they organize it themselves. They get together and they have a meeting space like in a hotel somewhere or something like that. And they've been doing that for 3 years. And the 4th one's coming up here at the end of this year. The Brotherhood, again, helpformen.com/join. We get together for we have, how do you say it? Discussion forums that are very, very active. Private, no one can see what you say in there unless you're a member. We have live Zoom meetings. Again, no one can see what you say unless you're a member, or no one can see or anything like that. Zoom meetings, we record all of them. We have over 1,000 hours of meetings that are recorded. We have all of my books that I've written. I've written 4 books. And by the way, I'm working on a 5th one as we speak. I hope to have it out by the end of the year. We will see. But all those books, no extra charge. And the audiobook version included, no extra charge for our members. What else do we have? Courses, some free. So there is a small charge for some of them. Coaching, there is a fee for coaching, one-on-one mentoring coaching, counseling, if you will, for guys. We are not licensed therapists, psychologists, or anything, just mentors, guys that have been there, done that. I have coached or mentored hundreds and hundreds of men over the years from all walks of life. A lot of guys dealing with things such as overcoming infidelity, the dead bedroom thing, guys starting over in life after divorce, trying to get over the hump and get over the trauma of that and being a single parent, all that good stuff. I talk to men almost daily about that kind of stuff and have for years now. And it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So check out the Brotherhood at helpformen.com/join. We would love to have you guys. Guys only. Sorry, ladies. Let me see. I'm missing a comment here. Good afternoon. Good day, Ralph, says Jeff. Metal GT. Excellent. Jeff says he loves the videos. Well, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. If you guys like videos, be sure and check out YouTube. Some of you are watching me on YouTube on Dad Starting Over and Help for Men. Hey, howdy. How you doing? Including Mr. Metal GT here. I'm trying like heck to grow that channel. I've actually hired an agency to help me with that. You're going to see some changes on the YouTube channel for Dad Starting Over. That's my most popular channel. As far as social media is concerned, it's the most popular thing I got going is the Dad Starting Over brand, if you will. And so we're going to try our best to grow that channel, really expand, really hit YouTube in a big, big way. So be looking for changes to that here coming up soon. What else we got going on? I'll be doing these lives typically once a week, so be on the lookout for that. I should have this ready, and I don't. I apologize. But let me bring up a link for you guys that you can click on a link, and you can add the schedule for these. Page token has expired. What the hell does that mean? Sign in. Okay, there we go. Cool. Ralph DSO live streams. Calendar page. Nope, wrong one. This one. All right, here we go. Calendar page. My phone's going off as we speak. Of course, because I'm live online. Hey, Ralph's live. Let's call him and text him. There we go. Copy. No. There we go. Copy. Now I come back to you guys and I paste this as a comment. There you go. You can click on that link to add our live streams, my live streams rather. Let me make sure that works. Yes. The ones that are coming up. But it looks like I need to put some more on the calendar for August. So I'll be doing that later today. But you can add that to your calendar, and all the meetings all of my live streams will magically show up on your calendar there. So pretty cool, all the scheduled ones. Today is an impromptu, unscheduled. I just happen to have time. I had to cancel one earlier this week. I had a new HVAC, heating and air conditioning system, all new finally, after I've had the one we had. I keep patching it and putting refrigerant freon in it and all this other stuff. And finally the guy's like, dude, you got to stop. This thing is old. It's breaking down every year we come out here. It's finally time to buy you a new one, dude. So I did. We got a new HVAC system, and that's what they were doing this week. Big racket, big team of guys in here. And it was like, no, I can't do a live stream with all this noise. That's why I canceled it. And all that good stuff. We got Fight for Better Now saying, remember to like the videos. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, go to the Dad Starting Over channel on YouTube, which is where Fight for Better Now is joining us, a regular on here. Thank you, Mr. Fight. And whenever you see video, see my bald head pop up, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit the little bell, however it works, wherever you're watching it. Leave a comment. That really helps out a great deal. Even if you're watching on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, like, that tells that platform that this is worth sharing with other folks. That's what helps grow this. So if you like my content, you think it helps out a lot of dudes, I appreciate it, but help a brother out here. Give me a like, give me a share, all that good stuff. Thank you, Mr. Fight. We got Mr. Zach saying, howdy from South Africa. I can't get that accent. It's very unique, isn't it? That South African accent. It's got a little Australian, little Dutch in there. I don't know what's going on. It's a very different accent. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I've tried. I can't nail it. We got Torn Dad. Metal GT, my friend. We're going to pick on you if that's okay. And by the way, you can tell me, sorry, Ralph, I'm not going into this anymore. But Mr. Torn Dad, you wrote into me, and I created a video out of it that got somewhat popular. Again, the YouTube, it's not hugely popular. I got 130-some thousand subscribers, but no one likes anything. You know what? I could make all kinds of excuses that YouTube is algorithm. You know what? My videos just are kind of shitty. I need to do a better job. Hence why I hired an agency to help me out. They're going to help me with direction and scripts and what to say, what not to say, and the editing and all that good stuff. So hopefully within the next, 6 months, a year or so, we'll see a big boost. It's going to take a little while. But anyway, you, Mr. Torn Dad Metal GT, wrote in to say, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, because I get a bunch of these all the time. Your wife came to you basically one day and said, maybe this isn't a one-day thing, maybe it was like a trickling thing, that she was no longer strictly monogamous in her temperament, I guess you could say, her sexual template, but instead she considered herself a polyamorous individual, which for those that don't know means I don't give all my love and devotion and sexual whatever to just one person. That's silly. I'm going to give it to multiple people at once. That's how I'm wired, is what some people say. It sounds like I'm kind of being flippant and disrespectful to them. It's just that here's the thing. What I've seen, not with every case, trust me, okay, I'm not saying that, but in my world, what I've seen is that when a guy, for example, like Mr. Torn Dad comes and says, my wife suddenly came to me. Let me scooch here. I'm going to make a noise. He says, my wife came to me and says that she says, I'm polyamorous. My first thing I'm going to say to that is, all right, dude, what's his name? Meaning, who's the dude that she's having an affair with? That's usually, in my world, again, let me qualify it further, that's what we see, because it's, they got with somebody, they formed an attachment with somebody outside of the relationship, which leads to this feeling, that feeling, da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, they're like, I think it's possible for me to love more than one person at once. I want to try out the polyamorous thing. And often the new lover or partner, whatever you want to call them, affair partner, is of that world and convinces the woman, like, the strict monogamy thing is horseshit. You need to come over to my team, this team polyamory, team open marriage, team whatever you want to call it, and away she goes. And that is what Mr. Torn Dad experienced in his world, was the wife coming to you saying exactly that. And if I remember right, wasn't she pretty flippant and pretty mean about it, saying And in fact, I'm going to, while you're gone, dude, to work, if I remember right, on a work trip, whatever it was. I don't know if you're military or something. I can't remember. Again, I apologize. So many of these come through every day. If I remember right, she said, while you're gone, I'm going to bring this dude in, just so you know, into our home, and we're going to get it on right here on this bed. Sorry. Right? That was, in essence, what she said, really blunt like that, which some people, myself included, would interpret as, oh shit, homegirl's lost her marbles, or she really doesn't give a shit. A lot of disrespect for you, Mr. Torn Dad. She doesn't care if it scares you away or not. She's gotten to that point emotionally. She's like, I'm just going to tell this dude what I'm doing. If he runs for the hills, oh, well, I got backup dude over here. No biggie. Ugh, really cynical, negative way of looking at it. But I mean, dude, can you imagine your spouse coming to you going, hey, you got a business trip coming up next week, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to be bonking some dude in our bed. Have fun. He'd be like, are you okay? Are you well? Who does this? But she did. And I created a video all about that. We got Mr. Jack Lumen, a regular from YouTube, asking a question saying, speaking of videos, question on the ADHD dopamine short. Well, don't let me stop you. Go right ahead, sir. Type away. Jeff from Facebook saying, your videos aren't shitty. You just need more exposure, Ralph. Well, I appreciate that. A common phrase, when you talk so much online and you see videos of yourself coming up again and again, I don't know if you guys have noticed, whether it's me or whoever it is, they have like little stock phrases these people do, don't they? Myself included. Little verbal crutches that we lean on that we say all the time, little verbal habits. And so I catch myself saying them and I roll my eyes going, here we go. But anyway, I just need more exposure. To qualify this further, that's one of my stock phrases. As far as YouTube is concerned, as far as what YouTube likes, as far as what YouTube considers markers for a good video, no, mine don't meet the criteria. So that's why I say kind of shitty videos. In the minds of YouTube, YouTube sees video, it sees how people react to my video, comments, likes, views, and it says, and it puts me at the bottom of the pile. Let's just be realistic. It's not anti-Ralph, it's not anti-man or whatever. There's videos out there by content creators that are way more misogynistic than mine. And I don't consider me a misogynist, but you know what I mean. Very bitter, angry dude. And those guys get videos out the wazoo. So it's not a political thing. It's not an anti-man thing by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the criteria for my videos don't fit the mold for what they want and what, frankly, my viewers want. Because they're not liking them like crazy. They're not sharing them like crazy. They're not commenting like crazy. So we just need to do better to get more activity. So that's what we're going to do, hopefully. And we got John from Facebook saying, is casual dating an okay thing to do? Very good question. Let me start over. Is casual dating an okay thing to do relatively soon after separation or divorce? What's a good way to know one is ready for that? Very good question, John. Let me preface it by saying this. I attract to my material a particular type of dude. And that type of dude is one that probably I can relate to a great deal. Hence why they're attracted to me and my material. And I can describe them as such. They are relatively anxious in temperament in nature. And they also tend to fall in love pretty hard, pretty quick. So they're with a gal, goes on a couple dates with her, and he's the kind of guy that instantly says, I can imagine, 6 months, 12 months, years down the line with this woman. Maybe she's the one. Yeah, seriously, after like a date or two, especially if they get it on physically, then he's like really, he's hooked. He's addicted. He's ready to marry the woman and have her move in and hand over money and all that good stuff. Now, a lot of men hearing that roll their eyes and go, yeah, whatever, until they meet the one, quote unquote, who really gets them going. And then he's like, oh shit, I think I fell in love. And then I talk to these men and they go, I know you said to wait. I know you said, give it time. And I know you said that I will attract, some not so good people in my world, but here's the deal. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And he's like, she's really great. She comes from a good family. She's got kids. She's a great mother, blah, blah, blah. Her spouse cheated on her, whatever it may be. And he just starts selling me on this woman. It's just a really great deal. And he just got really lucky and a really great person just landed in his lap. And he wants to date her seriously. And he wants to take it to the next level. They've already been on 3 or 4 dates and away they go. And almost invariably, That man will come back 6 months, a year later. And you know what he says? I should have listened to you. Oh shit. This shit just hit the fan, dude. All hell broke loose. This bad thing happened, this red flag. And yes, Ralph, I ignored this red flag early in the relationship because frankly, she made me feel really, really good. And I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. So I just looked past it. It doesn't end well, ever. So is that a condemnation of women in the online dating? You know what I mean? In the dating market? No. It's an illustration of his mindset, the type of people that he attracts, the type of people he's attracted to, and his inability to walk away when things get a little squirrely. That's most men in my world have a really tough time with all of that. So when they're like, I'm just going to go and have casual sexual relations with women and have flings, and I swear to God, I'm not going to devote myself to some woman and fall in love and move her in. That's the last thing on my mind I want. And yet most of the men do exactly that. So if you are relatively new out of a divorce, you are broken. You don't know it. You may say, nah, dude, I've already went through all that shit. Me and the wife have been separated, like in-house separation for years. We haven't touched each other in years. I'm ready to move on, dude. I'm not going to sit around and wait another year, whatever. Cool. I get it. Makes sense on paper, right? But you don't realize, yeah, you're traumatized. You're kind of nutty right now, post-divorce. You don't know it, but you are. You will look 1 year later down back at yourself a year previously, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I was a little nutty. Absolutely. I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. Work was suffering. I was really still trying to find myself, still trying to find my footing and deal with all the logistics of life and divorce and everything else. And you may not say this overtly to yourself, but in essence, the realization you come to is it wasn't really fair of me, and it wasn't really fair to all these other ladies to bring them into my world. It wasn't fair to my kids. Maybe you introduced the kids to the new woman or whatever. All that craziness, nuttiness, for lack of a better word, dysfunction, not so healthy mentally, whatever you want to call that. It doesn't get any better when you just introduce new people into it. It just all gets worse. So why not just wait? Why not give it a year? And I think the answer to that question, if you were to answer it, is because, Ralph, I feel like shit, and bringing another person into my life will hopefully make me feel better. Let's be honest. That's the answer to that question for most of you. You can put a facade of, no, dude, I'm just horny, which in essence means I need sexual gratification, which in essence means I'm using other human beings to fill a need. Is that the healthiest thing in the world? I don't know. If they're also on the, team casual sex, let's just use each other to get off, then cool. You're both adults. What the hell? What do I care? But more often than not, that's not the case. Let's say you are one of these guys that's like, I can do that, not catch any feelings. I can date a woman. I don't give a shit. I just use women left and right. You're going to break hearts. You're going to use people, and it's not nice. Sorry, it's just not. I mean, and if you're the type that's like, haha, I broke 4 women's hearts last week, and what do they call it? Pump and dump, or whatever it may be. Well, congrats, you're a sociopath. You're a dickhead. Yay, you, I guess. There are sex workers for this exact purpose. I know you don't want to do that because that's against your moral fabric or whatever it may be. Instead, you'll just use women and lead them along and let them believe that you're in it for a relationship and a deeper connection. And then once you do them, you dump them. Yeah. Ain't me, dude. And I hope it's not you either. Anyway, why not wait? If you're like, because I need love and validation to make me feel better from people, you're definitely not ready. And you're just going to break a lot of hearts, including your own, your loved ones, all that good stuff. Jack, you say, go back to your original question. So let's try and put these together for everybody. The original question was, speaking of videos, question on the ADHD dopamine short video that you saw, which is part of a longer video that will come out soon. I think we'll see what the agency guys say. You say, does that apply to people with the autism spectrum as well? Yes. What you described, you could relate to. I'm no expert on this. I just know enough to be dangerous, I guess you could say. That there's most definitely overlap in all these conditions, if you will, that fall under the umbrella of neurodivergence or neurodiversity, people may call it. That includes such disorders or conditions, whatever the proper term there is, including ADHD, autism, obsessive compulsive, dyslexia, even dyscalculia. That's the one where people have just problems with numbers, and others that I'm forgetting right now. All of them, they all have a lot in common. And some of the things that I mentioned in that ADHD video also pertain to guys on the autism spectrum. That does not mean all guys with ADHD also have a little bit of the tism. No. But here's what we do know: guys on the autism spectrum, guys and gals, 60% of them. So the majority of them that are on the autism spectrum also have ADHD. So, Mr. Jack, maybe that pertains to you. I don't know. Um, but what were some of the things, Mr. Jack, that made you go, oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. That's me. Maybe start there and we can talk about it further. We have Mr. Sam from Facebook says, I have had a couple of dates with a single mom. It sounds like we got a Brit amongst us. She has a 6-year-old daughter. If things progress, how do I get over the mental gymnastics of spending more time with someone else's kid more than my own? Well, Mr. Sam, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. You just had a couple of dates with a gal. That 6-year-old daughter thing, here comes the 12-month mark again. Give it a good year of you two dating before you even think about, nope, did I just lose you guys? What happened? My picture's not on the camera anymore. Oh, geez, major malfunction. Can you guys at least hear it? Please connect a video source. What happened? My camera went boobs up. Oh, geez, I'm gonna have to. I turned it off and turned it back on. Why did I lose my video connection? Anyway, let's try this again. We can still hear you. What's a day of malfunctions, guys? I don't know if you guys saw at the beginning of this, I didn't have my audio on. Stupid me. Now the camera's turned itself. I think it overheated. It happens. Anyway, putting the cart way before the horse. Give it a good year of dating before you start bringing kids into the equation. So don't worry about it now. That's a very anxious guy thing. Went on a couple dates. Whew, I see this being serious. What if I meet her kid? Chill out, dude. You don't know. Give it time. Anyway, but eventually, how do you reconcile this whole deal about, it sounds like you don't see your own kids very much. I'm sorry, that sucks. It's stupid. And if you're in fact dating her a lot, a year down the line, please do that. Do me a favor. A year down the line, you start hanging out with her more and more, and you're still not seeing your own kids very much. The question is, like, how do you deal with that? How do you reconcile that? Man, it is what it is. I hope Fight for Better Now on YouTube makes a point, just a heads up. If she is introducing her kid to you after just a couple of dates, that says a lot about her. That is not good, my friend. And he's right. That is a red flag. She should be very resistant to introducing a child to a new guy that she's dating. Very cautious. Very like, I need to make sure this dude's safe. I need to make sure he's sane. I need to make sure he's got a good head on his shoulders before I bring him into the world of kids. What they think and what they feel is very important. So I hope you haven't met the kid already. That's like not good. Anyway, being a little judgmental, that's my opinion. Hey, my camera, that's hopefully going to keep working here. My microphone, my little internet stream. That's what I think. I don't know what you guys think. All right. Hello, says Christoph. Well, hello, Christoph. I love seeing all the regular names, guys. Thank you so very much. And thank you for all the likes. I appreciate that. That helps out a great deal. Guys, if you're watching this, do me a favor. Just pause for a second and give me a like. Wherever you're watching this, that helps out a great deal. That tells your little YouTube or Facebook or whatever platform that this is worth other people seeing. How nice is that? Now I am wondering if this thing is going to overheat on me again. I have a fan I can put on it. I'll tell you what. Let me pause this for a moment. How do I do that? I'm going to go put a fan on. How about that? Can I turn this off? Yeah. Hold on just one second here. This is very professional of me, guys. Stop my camera? No. Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, I trust I'm back. I just put a fan on my camera. For those that don't know that are not technically inclined, these newfangled cameras have a problem. They're very powerful. They're very, all that good stuff. Good 4K, all that garbage, but they tend to overheat. And I'm using the Sony camera, Z1. Hell, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. For you camera geeks, it is a full frame camera, so it's not cheap. If you notice, the appearance is getting a little better here. That's why. Anywho, anything else, ladies and germs? Any other questions? What happened since the last time I did one of these? We had the yeah, we already talked about this. We talked about the didn't we? Maybe not. The Coldplay couple. That was interesting, wasn't it? Jack, you say both video and audio cut to a blue screen. Yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, the Coldplay thing, it's kind of all played out, no pun intended, by now. But what an interesting little thing that was, wasn't it? With the Schadenfreude moment where the world all got together and pointed and laughed and enjoyed shaming a couple that got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And then a lot of people pointing out, men especially pointing out, that everybody's getting on the guy, but nobody's talking about the woman. There was a lot of confusion about the woman. Like, was she married or not? Apparently she got married, divorced, married a different dude, divorced him, got back with the first guy. I don't know. It was nuts. There's somebody calling me again. But what a shit show that was. But it sounds like both of them are out of a job now. So I guess we can, I don't know, leave them be. But I'm, as a guy who a big part of my living right now and this brand and everything was based upon being cheated on. That was the starting over phase. I don't know if you knew that. I look at this a little differently. When somebody's like, oh my gosh, I saw so-and-so cheating on so-and-so, I go, oof, that's not good. And done. I don't go out of my way to shame them, judge them. You have no idea what's going on in the world, for one. And number two, it's, they have to deal with that. I don't go out of my way to punish and all this other stuff. They're the ones that have to live with that, doing what they did and everything else, and leave it at that. So, it doesn't surprise me to see all these people jumping on these folks and just love shaming them and researching them and finding out everything they can on them and exposing all their personal information and everything else. I just look at that and go, that's a bit much. I get it. A lot of people are hurt, and a lot of people love to throw stones, don't they? What was it? He who is without sin, I think. Was it Jesus said that? When the people were pelting was it an adulterous woman or the prostitute? I can't remember. Yeah, with the rocks, saying, yeah, all you guys tossing rocks at this woman. None of you are perfect, right? Anyway, it's kind of some food for thought there. Jack, you say your wife has ADHD, but your oldest kid suspects that your wife has the tism too. It could be. That would make sense. Guys tend to find each other. They have a lot in common. Your kiddos have on the spectrum as well, or under the neurodivergent umbrella. That's pretty common. Their chances of your kids also being affected are way higher than others. All right. Anything else? Ladies and germs, we've been at it for about a half hour now. That's good for a live, isn't it? Unless there's something else you guys want to talk about. The Brotherhood, Jack, Christoph, Fight for Better Now. All you guys, you need to join myself and others in the Brotherhood. Boop. Go to helpformen.com/join and check it out. You can talk to yours truly, not 24/7. That'd be a little much. I do have a life, but I'm on the forums for our membership quite a bit, as well as like 800 other dudes. And in live meetings, you get to chat with me live, face to face, so to speak, on Zoom meetings. I host about 3 of those every week, sometimes more, depending on if we have special guests or something. And then the other guys in my team, they host meetings as well. So a lot to take in, plus all the other benefits that I talked about earlier, free books and courses and coaching and all kinds of good stuff. So check out the Brotherhood, helpformen.com/join. All you regulars on there, man, we would love to have you. And then we have Mr. John saying, what if your new woman wants that you're casually dating wants to start introducing you to their close friends and inner friend circle? I don't see anything wrong with that. Sounds good to me. And then Mr. Hugh, you bring up a good point. You say that they deserve the punishment, meaning the Coldplay couple. It's so funny that this cheating couple is associated with a what do you call them? Light rock, pop rock band, whatever. I don't know. Coldplay is now associated with infidelity for the rest of their career. But you say they deserve it, damn it. They're doing stupid things, and so we could all do this if things happen a certain way. So there is this contention that people like this, that do things like this, do deserve the shame and the public shaming and punishment or whatever it is, because that will deter others from doing that. And you know what we've seen? It doesn't. People been cheating and screwing around with their spouses since the beginning of time, and no amount of cheating or fear of getting caught or whatever deters people from doing it. Seriously, they're going to find a way. In fact, this couple, let's talk about it. How brazen they were, how open they were. They were literally in a stadium filled with thousands of people, I presume. It was like a giant football stadium type thing, which, by the way, Coldplay still filling stadiums, whatever. So, and they're there front and center, embracing each other for literally all these thousands of people around them to sit and watch. I guess they felt a little bit of safety or anonymity amongst, a little ant amongst all these thousands of other ants, in this crowd. But when I saw there's various pictures taken of this couple from different angles and stuff, they were on this railing up, in this elevated balcony for everyone to see. All you had to do is look up and go, look at that couple embracing. And then the camera went on them. And they're like, oh shit. Well, what'd you expect? Somebody's aren't they worried about other people going, look, it's whatever the fuck his name was. Look, there's Bob over there. And who's that chick with him? That's not his wife. Well, aren't they worried about that? Apparently not. I don't know. Very weird. People do stupid things. I wonder how long they've been together. The funny thing is, it was a band that called out. The bands put them on the camera and then saw how they reacted, which stupid. What are you guys thinking? Just do one of these. Hey, everybody. And that's it. And no one would have ever known because it wouldn't have gotten out. But the fact that they reacted the way they did, it was dumb. And the actor or the lead singer called them out and said either they're really embarrassed or they're cheating. Anyway, moving on, and the rest is history. How interesting. Light rock, yeah, that's what you call Coldplay, right? I was gonna say it's kind of up there with who else has that flavor of music? U2, although U2 has some kind of rocking, some nice songs. If it's not obvious, I'm not a fan of that type of music, whatever that is. It's a little too milk toast for me, I guess you could say. I like classic rock, hard rock, blues rock, some country, not a lot of the modern day horse shit that's out there now. Ugh. But some of the old country I like, and jazz. I enjoy jazz. I used to be a radio DJ when I was a kid in college and in high school, believe it or not. That's how I started. And then I got really into blues and jazz. So Coltrane, Miles Davis, all the way to, the B.B. King, Albert King, the Vaughan brothers, and on and on. I could talk all day long about that kind of stuff. And I got a guitar over here, you can see. Anyway, my wife got caught one day smoking in a hotel kitchen. She owned it, finished the cigarette. Next day, a big fat smoking prohibited sign all over the place. There you go. No one is perfect, you meant? Okay, very good. Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else? Every time I'm about to wind down, some more stuff comes. Bring it on, guys. Don't think I'm pushing you out of here. But it is almost 2 o'clock my time. One of my kids ain't feeling too good, my youngest boy. I don't know what's going on with them. Feeling a little nauseated and all that stuff. Right for the weekend. Fun. Hope it doesn't pass to the rest of us, whatever it is. Anything else, ladies and germs? If not, I'll let you go. But hey, thank you all so very much. You should see that little, let me see where, yeah, there it is. Thingy there, Mr. Jack, Christoph, Hugh, Fight for better now. Mr. Where'd you go? I'll pick on you again. What was your name again? GT something something. That was Torn Dad. All you guys, your butts should be there in the Brotherhood. That's our private community for men only, that we get together and talk and have meetings, get together in person. There's all kinds of benefits to join, help out your fellow dudes. Mr. Jack talking about the neurodivergence thing. That's a big chunk of our audience. You know, that's a big chunk of the men's self-help audience, period. Because a lot of the, hey, Stephen, a lot of the guys who consume a lot of information are of that ilk, if you will. So there's a lot of dudes in that world in our group. So maybe check it out. In fact, one of our coaches, Scott, is Scott Morales. Coach Scott is a neurodivergent himself, and that he has a whole program to help out guys with that. He's ADHD and on the autism spectrum. Talks all about it all the time. Very good guy for you to know. All right. Mr. Christoph say here on a mission, working on the finances right now. Very good. Hey, our group is cheap. I don't know if you saw it costs less than $1 a day to join. If you're a military veteran, it costs less than 50 cents a day to join, I think, around about. If you pay a year ahead of time, it's even cheaper than that. We give you a discount and all that good stuff. So, put $1 a day down and you're a member of our group and you get all that cool benefits and all that good stuff and help out other dudes and help out a good cause. So check it out. Fight for better now. We'll end it with this good sentiment to end with. You came across something recently on a TV show, SWAT. Hondo's was having an argument with his sister over their dad. His response was, "We may have a shitty dad, but I don't have to be a shitty son." Very good. That's kind of been my motto lately. I may be in a shitty situation, but I don't have to be a shitty person. What a great sentiment to end on. Thank you, Mr. Fight for Better Now. Yeah, it's all about how you react to things. I am writing a book right now. Again, I mentioned at the top of this that should be out by the end of the year. And one of the big things I talk about in the book is our identity as men. How so many of us are, how to say this? So many of us are shown in a very uncomfortable way just how much we don't have a sense of who the heck we are. When something really bad happens to us, such as, oh shit, I caught my wife cheating and she left me, or oh shit, I lost my job of 20, 30 years, or whatever it is. Or God forbid, my child got really sick, something and that really rocks your world and really cuts you down to nothing. And you realize, who am I? What are my values? What is my identity as a man? I don't even know, because I've been this chick's husband. That's been my title. And these kids' dad. And this company's VP of sales, and whatever it may be, right? When all that is gone, the titles are gone, kids have moved out, wife says, I don't want you anymore, whatever it is. You're like, I don't even know who the hell I am. That's huge. That's something we all need to work on and not lose sight of. It all comes back full circle to the basics, doesn't it? All this stuff. And all of that has a major impact on how we interact with other people, how we go forward in life, helping other folks, whatever it may be. It all comes down to, what's my mission? Do I not have one? I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing on this planet, other than waking up in the morning, doing house chores, taking care of kids, driving them to baseball, whatever it may be. Without all that, I don't know who the hell I am. That's not good at all. And you only got one life, folks, unless, of course, your religion says you have more than one reincarnation, whatever it may be. Hope I didn't offend anybody, but as far as I'm concerned, this is it, guys. I probably have, most likely, more years behind me than I do ahead of me now, as I'm going to be 50 years old here soon. So I don't want to spend it just doing things in service of trying to project an image that I think other people want out of me. That's kind of a not worded very well sentiment, but you know what I mean. Who am I? I don't know. All I know is I have this title that means I serve them as an employee, and I serve her as her husband, and I serve them as father. But other than that, who am I? I don't know. When I'm not serving others in some way, I don't know who the hell I am. Something to gnaw on, folks. And that's something that a big part of my book coming up here by the end of the year is going to be about. So keep an eye out. Give me a follow. Give me a like. Thank you so very much. Share it. Hey, guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate all of you. It means a lot that you join me on these. And I will see you next week. Be on the lookout for that. I posted here in the comments here earlier a link that you can subscribe to a calendar that will show you whenever these come up. So I say that other than today, which was totally not planned. But guys, thank you also very much. And we will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.